Let's see. I wonder if I put a title on this at YouTube. Can you see in YouTube if I put a title? I do so many things at one time, and I'm such an old guy, I forget so much of the time, I forget everything. Well, let's see if U.S. Constitution says you have the right to apply for your $18,000 worth of government benefits. That's right. I mean, I ran into that because they're talking about, listen to the news, I hear a lot of, whether Trump is breaking the law or not and all this kind of stuff. And everybody has the right. And it's really anything the government does, you have the right, because you live in America, to go to a public school, okay? They can't discriminate against that for anything or call the fire department. Any public service, any public program, and that's what these grants are. These are government programs that they're available to anybody living here. So this is your right, your constitutional right to apply to these programs. And the problem is that the government doesn't make it easy. So the rich people have learned that, and they have money to help, buy professional help to do that. That's how I learned this. They knew there's a lot there, they didn't know how to get it, and they would hire me, and I would charge them thousands and thousands of dollars because they're not afraid to pay it. But I found out that I was just helping people who didn't need the money. I was helping millionaires become billionaires, and that's to me, that's what's wrong in this country. We're helping millionaires become billionaires and forgetting about the 90% of the people who can't make ends meet anymore because inflation. Wages are not going up. Inflation is going skyrocketing. So the average person making a wage can't make it. And so they need help. And that's what these programs are. So if we're using this money, like even in the Trump tax bill, he's given an extra $1 billion to literally millionaires and $1 trillion, and taking away $1 trillion from people who really need it. And say he's solving the debt problems. He's not. He's creating more debt than ever. And it's really, I think, if you see in the international stuff, I mean, America's on the downslide, and most countries are not doing well. But our place in the world is slipping. We used to be the big enchilada in the business and in the world, and now we're not. I mean, they just had a meeting in China, with India, with North Korea, and all these people that are really huge. I mean, that's like half the country, half the world are these people. And even the BRICS, I mean, that's another economic thing, is like Brazil and a whole bunch of countries like we have like eight developed countries together. Well, these BRICS, underdeveloped or developing countries, are bigger now than us. So that's why we can't hurt Russia too much, because he just goes to these other countries. We're not buying this stuff, doesn't matter. And China's bigger, they buy more stuff. All these other countries, they could go. And now India's the same way. And so we can't throw our weight around like we used to anymore, and have to get used to that. And I think what we got to do is buckle down and not worry about that kind of stuff, and get to good stuff and get people excited about creating things. And that's where America was always about creating new stuff and creating ideas, and where you could come here and just take any ideas here and try to make it happen. And the meanness that's now in our country, it's hard to feel comfortable. I mean, the creativity is people in mass that are going to put you in a van and take you into some country or whatever. I mean, it's just crazy going on. But more importantly, the topic of the day is not what's going to happen 10 years from now, but what's happening today in your life, my life, or whatever. And how do you make that better today? And unfortunately, what you have to do is unlearn how to get information. And that's the key to this. There's help out there, no matter what you read about Trump cutting programs and grants and stuff like that. He's really so big and so large. He's really nibbling around the edges. So don't worry so much. I mean, you're just gonna, the one thing I see, like I've been trying to call the IRS for 2 days now, is that the money is there, but the people that help you with it, he fired all of them. So the grants and everything, money's coming out, the people help you out there. So you're gonna have to persevere and learn a ways around the problem. That's what all of life is, I feel. It is, there's roadblocks in everything you wanna do in life. And to succeed in life, you have to figure out another option. When there's a roadblock, when there's a bump in the road, you have to pick your ass up and do it again, or think about something. And that's what I think Let's Go Help is good, because we have 15,000 people there that help each other through this. Happy this chat is a map safe place. Don't know map safe. As a 10-year-old trans femme girl, I am happy to know that you and everyone in chat loves me. Loves your, I love your talk, child drag, and I love you guys. Oh, that's awfully sweet of you. May, oh, is that, are you Chinese? Ni hao ma? I know a few words. I was over there for a couple of weeks, and I help a Chinese family here in suburban Washington, D.C. But it is, the help is out there. You have to ignore the bad people. You have to ignore the people that you call up and they don't help you. There's still loving people out there. And 40% of everything in our economy are people that are hired to show love to you, okay? That's the true, honest to God truth. And they're not working in Google. Google is there to get money from you. What I want to show you are the people who give you money. Okay, that represents 40% of our economy are people who give you money. Okay, 60% of our economy are people who want to get your money. Okay, if you have money, then you could use Google. If you don't have money, then please don't use Google. I need $50,000 home grant for seniors. Eloise, yes, okay. I'm trying to think the best way. Look at Unlock My Goals. If you go to Unlock My Goals, okay, let's go help.org and unlock my goals. Okay, unlock your goal. That's a good place to start for anything. Because right there, then we have under Unlock My Goals is home and housing help. Okay, that's where you want to go. Okay, so you go to Unlock My Goals, Eloise. Okay, now if you want to short circuit that, because that's also for buying a house, but the best place to start is here. Okay, and everybody, no, you don't have to be a member to know this. You go to Find Help. Find, F-I-N-D, you have to know how to spell, let's go, findhelp.org. So, and you put in your zip code, and you put in home repair. Home repair. Okay, now, to use that, I'm going to give you another report, and the people watching on YouTube, you could download this report. It's tiny. If somebody would write this in the chat on YouTube so other people could use it, tinyurl.com/let's-go. What is it? Let's go. Secret grants? God, I am getting so goddamn old. This is terrible. I think it's Let's Go Grant Secrets. That's what it is. That's why it didn't sound right. It's Let's Go Grant, G-R-A-N-T, and Secrets, S-E-C-R-R-E-T-S. Okay. Okay. Go there. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is, go to What happened to my find help? Okay, you want to go to find. I probably didn't put send. Findhelp.org, put in your zip code, and then put in home repair. Okay, and you'll find, you know, maybe 50 to 150 organizations where you live that give money for you for home repair. See, this is what people can't imagine. I mean, they're gonna look for like one office or something for home repair, but you may or may not, it's like looking for a job. You don't go to one office or one company to ask for a job and they say no and you don't go home. You can't do that, okay? So you have to go more places. You have to have a list. And that's what Find Help is good about. It gives you a list, okay, of 150 home repairs. And you have to do the work. That's why the other report I put in there, tinyurl.com/Lesko Grant Secrets. Look at that video. I tell you what it takes to get money. I mean, there's no secrets. It's just perspiration. Because you have to know what to expect so you don't quit. What happens is most people quit, and because they try 2 or 3 places and it doesn't work, and so they think there's nothing for them, and that's not true at all. You have to keep at it to get it. Okay, if you don't keep at it, you don't get it. Okay, what is this guy? Some type of artist or something? No, I'm just bored. This is me inside. I started dressing like this maybe 20, 30 years ago. And I was a clothes horse, but this is cheap. I mean, these suits I get now from China, they're like $40 or something. I used to spend hundreds and hundreds, even thousands or whatever, on clothes because I was such a fashion. But no, funky is cheap. So you can be funky. I just made fun of the guy a minute ago, but now I'm listening and he actually trying to help your dumbass. That's right, and that's what I'm going to do till I die. I'm 82 years old, and I feel I have another at least 10 years left. And there's so much pain in our country now that people are, you know, we've turned into a country when all the rich people are doing fine, so they don't want to change the system, and the rest of the people are struggling, and that's 90%. All the data, and I show you these charts all the time about 90% of the country can't pay their bills. And, and don't realize, the people who are hurting don't realize about government programs. See, the rich people know about government programs. They're all in town here getting more. Trump has just gotten like $5 to $6 billion by being president. He made extra money for him and his family as president. So man, he knows where the money is, and he's getting it for himself. And he's getting it to his rich friends. I did that on the tax bill, so they don't have to pay as much taxes. And what bothers me there is that it's the rich that owe $1 trillion to the Treasury that haven't paid their taxes. But he cut all these people out at the IRS that collects the taxes. So they're going to get scot-free and live here and make all this money and not pay their dues. Now that's terrible in my mind. But here's what our country is. You see the orange part? That's capitalism. That's Google. This part, the green and the blue, that's the community part. This is where we help each other. You know, that's your, you know, as a fire department, the library, all that we help, you know, people if they can't pay the rent. All these programs we have represents 40% of our economy. So that's what we have to learn how to use, because it's there for you to solve financial problems. It's there for you to get ahead in life. See, these programs are not only for you to get out of financial problems, they're there for you to grow and create more income, because there's programs like to start a business. I mean, they give out trillions for people to start or expand their businesses, whether it's a business in your bedroom, not as a hooker, but doing something legitimate. They help you with money and help See, and that's the key to getting information. That's the key to using these resources, is don't look for money, look for help, okay? Have you been on many talk shows, Oprah? Yeah, I've been on all of those. Who was the best host? Who was the most difficult? Well, Oprah, man, you're in Oprah's wake at all. You feel when she looks at you like you're the only person in the world. Larry King, man, he was. I remember the last time I did the show with him, he said, "Let's go. I made you and H. Ross Perot." So I was big in the 90s with him, and they would use me when somebody canceled. And I'd go down there in 20 minutes and do a half hour, an hour. Letterman, yeah, I did him about 7 or 8 times. Nice man, couldn't get to know him. Leno, I only did once. And I don't think he liked me because I didn't do what all his staff told me to do. I mean, people want to tell me what to say, I rebel. And I just go out and act crazy. You've been on talk shows. So nobody's really bad. I don't recall. But I know that his staff, Leno's staff, are bad. When I finished the segment, boy, it was like when you turn the lights on in the kitchen and the cockroaches all spread out and go hide in a second. That's what the whole staff did. And I was there in this dark room. Everybody was gone. I was like radioactive. Nobody wanted to be around. Check our classes. Yeah, that's what another. See, what we do now at Let's Go Help, and our service is letsgohelp.com. It's only $20 a month, and you get unlimited one-on-one help to apply to every program, okay? It takes work on your part. Remember that. It takes work on your part. So you have to roll up your sleeves. But you're not going to find a better thing unless you charge thousands and thousands of dollars, because otherwise you're going to go to Google without any help, and you'll never find anything. And you'll get pissed off, and you'll hate America. And I don't want you to hate America. I think America is great, because you're only dealing with this if you're going to Google, who want to get money from you. And this is the part America wants to give money to you. They don't advertise, you don't know. They're not organized like this to do it. And they're sitting there waiting for you to call. They're like the Maytag repairman. I don't know if you're old enough to remember those commercials. Probably nobody here is. It's a problem with living so long. Nobody has the references to my tacky jokes. But it's important. I think it's important for everybody. There's too much hurt out there for people not to use these things. You have to use them. They don't come to you. Nobody's going to call you. 211 is all you need. I don't like 211 a whole lot. 211 isn't bad, but it won't give you enough, because you'll call 211, and that's okay. For a lot of times it is. But what you need, in other words, if you call 211 about home repair, they'll tell you, okay, the top person for home repair or whatever, but they won't tell you, unless you go into the database, that there's 150 other organizations for that. See, that's the important thing. You have to have options, because when they say no, you have to know where. Legal help is the same way. You go to 211, or I like Find Help. Find Help is the same thing in a way, but you can't call Find Help like you can on 211. And that's why I like it. Because I don't want you to call one place and they'll give you 1 or 2 sources, and what you need or more to really find what you need. That's why I like findhelp.org, and the other one is 211.org. And 211, you can put in legal help for your zip code, and there'll be a couple hundred organizations that give you free legal help on anything. And that's the important thing, okay? You need to find the right one for you, and you only do that by talking on the phone. And if you want to know how to do that, I have a free report you could download right now, okay? tinyurl.com/letsgo, what did I say? Oh, Grant Secrets, Grant Secret. Okay, go to tinyurl.com/letsgo Grant Secrets. And another thing, if you're not a member of Let's Go Help, and you don't have $20 to become a member, go to this website. I have a free listing of 500 grants for your state. 500 grants for your state. If you go to this website, Lesko, Lesko, 500.com. Okay, go to Lesko500.com. Okay, and download that report. There's 50 reports within that one report, one for each state, and each report will show you 500 programs in your state. So you want to do that. I get so many people say, well, what about, South Carolina, or what about Montana? They're all there. So you'll find 500 programs for every state in the country for free. I don't even ask for your email address. This is all free, free, free. And I see my my camera just went, come on. There we go. Oh, no, yeah, okay. So, yeah, 500 reports. So you have no excuses. So if you take that report, Lesko 500, is this in Mighty? The 500 report is, Francine. Go on the left-hand side and under reports, and you'll see 500 mini grant reports. Okay, so you want to go there, and I'll put it in the chat for you. Okay, here it's the same thing as Lesko 500. Okay, okay, there's the 500 mini grant. Can you found here? Yes, there it is. Misty beat me. She always beats me, but it's good. It feels good. Thanks for being here, Laura. That's what it is. Happy to help. This means she knows her doo-doo. Yes, she does. Sweet woman. Very warm. Everybody we're trying to do is call it a loving community, where we try to love each other here, if you're a member or staff or whatever. And it's the way that we work the best. Everyone, I am Matthew Lesko's granddaughter. Wow, you are? As song shows. Gosh. Do I know your mom? Where do you work? I'm in Washington, D.C. You got any tips for staying happy and positive? Yes, you follow your heart. Follow your heart. You have to pay your bills, take care of that, and then after you're not a burden to society or somebody else, you follow your heart. And that's what I've been trying to do my whole life, and I only got that way by failing at everything else. Failing at everything else told me to do. Oh, this is how you succeed. And I did all that, and went out, got the courses, and I failed, And I said, geez, I'm not having fun. I'm failing, and I'm losing money. Like my first two businesses, I got money and to try to get them, and because they told me that's what I have to do, and I did that, and they failed and everything. Oh, God, it was terrible. Now here I am trying to do something that I'm not happy doing, and I'm failing and doing all this stuff because maybe 30 or 40 years from now, I'm going to have fun. That sounds crazy after I start thinking about it. I want to have fun now. Have fun, because work is like love. I mean, if you're pretending you love somebody, that's not the best as really loving somebody and using as much as you can. Work is the best when you love doing it, because then you'll do it harder than anybody else, because you love doing it. You want to be there. If you don't want to be there, it's like going to the dentist. Well, then you're going to do a shitty job or just a job to get by, and that's not going to help you much, particularly in the long run. So, and you don't know what that is. You have to trial and error. I have an adult son, 23, who has his LLC and clothing brand. Part of the brand is recycling denim. Oh, that sounds good. Making business a green project. He works at Target. Okay, well, tell him not to spend any more money on his business, okay? He needs help to figure out what to do with his business and his idea. And he could get the best free help anywhere. Look at Laura there's on Unlock Your Goals, there's one for starting a business. And in the first item there in starting a business is where to find the free people in where he lives that will sit down with him and help him for free. These are free mentors to help him start a business, whatever business he wants to start, doesn't matter what kind it is, and help him do that. And if he talks to one person and he doesn't like what he hears, he go to another one. You can't rely on one person. You can't rely on one idea. And just don't spend money because you don't know what the hell works. You have to do things without money. Like you didn't have to have an LLC yet. You probably don't have customers yet. So you don't need an LLC to start a business. You don't even need an LLC to have money. I mean, if somebody says, I'll give you money if you're an LLC, then you become an LLC. Until then, why bother? You don't, because the only thing that's important about business is getting a customer. Nothing else, everything else is detail. So that's why you have to spend all your time looking for customers first and with your idea, but don't invest money in that. That's what I like about crowdfunding. You can put that, you'll have a website and a place to call people just order your stuff and do it even before you make it. So that costs you nothing. You have a store and you don't even have material yet. You say, oh, I'll deliver in 2 months. That's what it is. I mean, it's just a wonderful thing. But you don't know those options, and that's why you have to look for options. If you're starting something based on what you know, that's a disaster because it's too complicated out there to know your options. That's why you have to talk to as many people as you can about finding that options. And also tell your son to go here. Tell him to go to Meetup, meetup.com. That's in every city, and you'll find local entrepreneurs. There'll be 20, 30, 40, 50 organizations in almost every city that where entrepreneurs meet and share ideas about how to get, and no cost. None of this stuff is costing you anything. Maybe if it's at a restaurant, you got to buy pizza, a slice of pizza or something. But no, it's all DIY. Do you do fashion? Well, you want to see my closet? It's all stuff like this. And I have fun. I dress like this because I was talking to somebody said, how do you keep, well, see, look, I dress like this. Took a lot of courage in the beginning, but now I walk down the street, I would dress like this every day. I go out and people smile at me. People will come up and hug me for nothing. They say, oh, made him smile. You made me smile just seeing you. Wow, I could do that. I got some ex-wives who'll tell you something else. But it's important. I mean, see, my thing is that you got to throw your own party. Nobody's going to throw a party for you. Laura, there's a business class. Yes, get them there. See, Missy's telling you about. See, what we have too is we have like 4 or 5 hours every day of experts telling you about this stuff and telling you how they got it. These are members who've gotten money and help. So you learn from people like you, not me. I've been selling this for 50 years. You know, you don't want to ask me. You ask somebody like you who just found it and got it. Wow. I found Greater Business Mentor on Score. See, that's another one of those. They're in that list. You know, there's lots. I mean, there'll be at least 50 to 100 mentor organizations in every city in the country. That's right. But people don't know. Yeah, they don't advertise. All you know is the stuff you see on social media, the stuff that people want to get money from you. Made in nature, eco-friendly cleaning products. Sounds good. What makes Made in Nature unique is our commitment to sustainability. Well, Alexon, is that it? Talk to those business mentors. Advantages of not, don't worry about being a nonprofit. Just go out and try finding what you want to do and look money or customers for what you want to do. And if somebody says they'll give you money if you're a nonprofit, then you become a nonprofit. Don't make all the answers first. You don't even know the questions. I need a grant to start production, but it's hard to find in Georgia. Well, not going to be any harder, but Georgia is very active in entrepreneuring and starting new businesses. I don't know where you started, Alex, but go to, unlock your goals and start a business and call people. You have to maybe make 10, 20 calls to start talking to people about help. And don't say you need money, say you need help. I got this great idea, and it does sound like a great idea. See, every city and county and state want you to start a business because then you'll create a job. And if you create a job, people are happy because they're working. I need a business grant, a home repair grant, a truck repair grant in the state of Wyoming. Okay, David, if you need a business grant, look in Unlock My Goals, okay? And under Start a Business, and start making appointments with the business mentors. Don't ask for money, ask for help. For car repair and home repair, you want to go to Find Help. Let me see what's out there in Wyoming. What's your zip code out there in Wyoming? What's your zip code? David? What's your zippy? No, don't become a nonprofit. Don't become anything yet. You start talking to people because it doesn't matter. You're going to waste time and money and not maybe have to. You only do that when you really have to because you don't know what you're selling or how you're doing or whatever. That's the last decision you make. Okay, David, 82834. Yeah, Frontier Days. They still have that out there? Find Help. Okay, Find Help. And I'm going to put in a zip code, 82834. And then I'm going to put a home repair. Then it asks me if I'm a human. Oh, okay. 66 organizations that provide free home repair. Now, what you have to do, David, is call them all. That's right, until you find one. And when you call, don't ask for money. You said, I have this problem, can you help me? And if they say no, then you ask them, where else can you suggest I can go? So you ask them where else to go, okay? Now the same for car, was that car repair? Yeah. Okay, let's see what car repair, or just put car. I think this will be a little tougher. Oh, we got 30. So you got 30 organizations that either give out free cars or car repair. Again, you have to do the same thing. How do you do that? Let me send you, here's my email. Here's the tinyurl.com, url.com/Lesko Grant, Grant, secrets. God, is it secret? Let's go grant secrets, I guess. Shit, why don't I remember that? Yeah, secrets, plural. Okay, there it is. Now that tells you how to call these people, okay? Let's go grant secrets. That's the key. The key is you on the phone, how you talk to them or whatever. You're not gonna get anything unless you learn that. You may get lucky. And they're the people I used to have in my infomercials. Because you can always find a handful of anybody's. How do you see the use of AI for grant writing? It's terrific. AI is a better option than, well, anything's a better option than Google, because you'll never find a grant in Google. You'll just find somebody who wants to get money from you. But AI, here's a sample of AI. I just did one. So you could say in AI, I'm looking for free money to pay my rent, mortgage, and utilities in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I think I did one like that, an AI. But you have to say this. You want people that are nonprofit or government offices, okay? 50 mortgage, rent, utility grants. Okay, yeah, 50 rent, mortgage, utility grants. Okay, here's how I did it. tinyurl.com 50 rent, mortgage, utility grants. I hope I spelled all that right. Go there and you'll see how that, and you could do it too. I use ChatGPT, it's free. So, and then you could put anything, you know, I want to, you know, build a spaceship in my backyard in Scranton, Pennsylvania, you know. You'll get something. Sweat. And something that you'll never get in Google. Google, you'll get, you know, 200 million people, and all of them want money for you. I think grants is spelled wrong. Probably G-R-A-N. I'll say it right. You're right, Francine. That's why the nuns used to beat the shit out of me, because I never spelled it right. Anything isn't it at the end of that? Yeah, so tinyurl.com. Oh, tinyurl.com. 50 rent, mortgage, utility, maybe that's right. Well, you get one. I don't have money. My credit score is so low. Okay, that's okay. Download this report. You don't have money? Let'sgo500.com. Let'sgo500.com. If somebody write that in the chat in what do you call it? YouTube, so other people could get that. Now in there is a state-by-state listing of free grants. And every state, when you look at your state, right up on top will be the people that help you with bills and your debt. Make an appointment with the free financial counselors. They'll help you get out of debt. You want to do that. You never want to get out of debt by looking in Google. They're just going to get you to spend money on something because you don't know your options. Your options don't advertise, so you don't find them. I want to hold your hand. I want to hold your hand. Great advice. I just asked using your prompts for Canada, and I didn't know there are so much assistance available. Oh, it's in Canada. Great. I guess that was on, not on Find Help, but that was on ChatGPT, I guess. Can you help me pay my rent, please? I'm a single mother of 3. Okay, that report I just put up there, single mom. Okay, did you see that? It's tinyurl.com/50 rent mortgage utilities. Okay, also go to Let's Go 500. If you don't have $20 for us at letsgohelp.com, go to letsgo500.com and get that free report. Let's see, mother. Single mother guide. This is a good website for you as a single mom. It's called singlemotherguide.com. That is a state-by-state listing of all the basic programs. There's about a half a dozen to 10 or something in every state. So make sure you touch base with that, but that's just the starter. These are the basic programs that most people will know about. But it's a nice listing to make sure you know all the basic programs, okay? And that's a website. Be careful on that. It's a .com, and I usually don't give out .coms, but they present a lot of good information because you go to your state and have all the applications for the basic programs for your state, and that's important. I'm the first time homeowner. I need a new roof, okay? Okay, if you're not a member, you could go to letsgo500.com and you'll see housing and the repair programs will be in there. Or you could go to findhelp.org, put in your zip code and find even more repair programs, because there'll probably be 50 or more anywhere. And if you're a member, then we help you one-on-one on that. And that's lesgohelp.com for members, and that's $20 a month. Okay. And if you feel we gypped you, don't worry, we'll give you your money back. What about the homeless with a dog? Find Help is the best place to start. Just put homeless and you'll see all the organizations, and there'll be a dozen, tens. What's your zip code? Let me see what it is if I put homeless in there. Kellyon, Dawson, what's your zip code? Miss Dawson, what's your zip code? 94111. Okay. Now remember, when you get this, I'm going to put in Find Help. What you have to remember, you're going to have to make a shitload of calls. Yeah. That's just the way life is. Nothing is simple anymore. You know, you can't do that. Oh, I got GoDaddy and so. Okay, 94 sounds like California. Okay, there's 3,550 organizations. I gotta put homeless. Okay, in those 3,500 organizations, there's 174 in your zip code that help with the homeless. 174 in your zip code that help with the homeless. I just think that's incredible. Okay, here's the link so you could see them. Now what you do, you're gonna look through that and probably say, oh, I don't see anything there for me. There is, but you can't tell by looking at that. You have to really tell by calling at least a half a dozen to a dozen of those people. I mean, so it's gonna take you half a day. What'd you do the last half a day? I don't know what the hell I did. I sat here pushing paper around or digits or whatever. But you have to solve your problem. And you have to do that by, rolling up your sleeves and making those phone calls. And that's why Let's Go Help is. You have people, members like Misty and other people are there to help you get through all this stuff. You go back on Let's Go Help and you have 4 or 5 hours of Zoom calls. You could join and ask them stupid questions. That's what they're there for. And it's so important that you get the help you need. Greetings, grants. Help me pay student loans. I live in New York, zip code, and not working right now. You gotta make an appointment, Katrina. Number one, you wanna go to studentaid.com. Okay, well, Housing Authority is only one place, Kathleen. And look at what I just did, 174 people. Organizations that help with that. So the Housing Authority, that's something you want to check there, but you can't stop there. You have to find options, okay? And what was I looking for? Student loan there, okay. Yeah, they're changing a lot of this stuff now in student aid. Studentaid.gov, go there and make an appointment. They got an 800 number. You could see in the contact on the bottom, there's a tab for contact, and there'll be a way for, and talk to them to make sure. Because don't talk to anybody who sends you an email or a messenger, anything like that, or phone call. They're making money out of you. The best programs are those that don't call you. You have to find them. So anybody who calls you, it's gonna cost you money you wouldn't have to pay otherwise. What do you think about Donald Trump? I think he's mean. He's hurting a lot of people. He thinks he's doing it for the right reason. I don't think so. But, we all could have different opinions on that. One, I can't believe it's you. I haven't seen you since I saw your commercial. Wow. Yeah, no, that's a long time ago. I'm 82 now. Been doing it ever since, and I feel I have another 10 years. Okay, after student aid, a good place to check too is Find Help. What's your zip code, Callum, fileout.org. What's your zip code? Yeah, actually, let's see. Because a lot of states have good help for this. Who need, not the zip code. Who, oh, student loans, okay, 10475, okay. Let's see what we got there. Because you want to talk to people who know about what's going on, who study it all the time. Not me, I don't study it all the time. Not anybody on the internet who's just trying to sell you something. You can't trust that. Maybe they have some information that may be interesting, but they're there just to get your money. Okay, student loan. Yeah, gotta talk to people who are .org or .com. I mean .org or .gov, G-O-V. Yeah, there's not much there in your zip code, but let me see. There's a whole bunch of credit counseling. There's 3 organizations here. They don't sound bad. You want to talk to people about your options, and don't just talk to one and think you got all the information. You don't. I need help on Wayne. And there's nonprofits out there that help you with that. Maybe I could find you some of those. Let's see. Yeah, here's some more sources for student loans. Talk to these people, okay? Here they are. These are all nonprofit organizations, okay? Never gonna charge you money. If you go to Google and try to find help with student loans, it's just gonna cost you money. And you don't have money. Look, you're in debt with all these loans. Help, lost my Section 8 in Titusville, 163. So 16354, okay. Where is Titusville? I'm from Wilkes-Barre. 16354. Rent. Ooh. Okay, they have 3 organizations. Okay, call all 3 of them. Yeah, it sounds like a small town there. So here's that, 50 miles east of Erie, okay. Yeah, so talk with these people. Talk with them. Now I'm gonna also send you sources for emergency financial assistance. If you need a place to live, that's an emergency. Okay, we got 176 for emergency and financial assistance. So what your job is start calling as many of these people you can. See, even if it's not for this, what you need, they're helping people like you who are in financial trouble. So they're gonna run into things. Say they do this every day. I don't do this in your area. They do this in your area every day. They run into people who do this, and they're gonna know more about it. It's like calling a plumber to fix your toilet. They're gonna, be able to fix a lot faster than your cousin or whatever says he could do it. What do you do if you volunteer for a nonprofit? So, and apparently the federal government contrived a grant on behalf of helping recover. Yeah, well, I mean, that is around. I mean, they went back and forth on all that. You want to call student aid. You have problems with if you're available, if you're eligible for that or not. You have to talk to people Don't talk to me. You have to only talk to people that are giving you the money or are nonprofit organizations that help you. Another way to do that is, okay, studentaid.gov, and there's a phone number there you want to do. Call them, and then go to findhelp.org and put in student loans to find some local nonprofit organizations locally that help with student loans, okay? Because then they're not selling it. Anybody else who contacts you, they're gonna get money out of you somehow, and you won't even know it. Yeah. Listen, guys, I gotta do a podcast soon. Thanks for putting up with me. Is this in Mighty? Yes, you're in Mighty. Let's see, which one? The LESCO grant secrets. Oh, I've been putting it in answers. I don't think we have it anywhere, if that's what you're talking about, Francine. The LESCO grant secrets, the tinyurl.com/LESCO grant secrets. I'm not in charge of doing any of that stuff that's in LESCO Mighty. And so a lot of it doesn't make sense to me because I haven't done it. So put the stuff in there. So we'll find a place for it there. But no, it's very important. And it's in my, you also find a lot of my stuff in going to YouTube or follow me on Instagram. I put everything there now too. But this is very important. I think that tinyurl.com/LESCO grant secrets. That's very important for getting through and getting the help you need. You have to know that. Okay, that's what. I found you in my tubes. Oh, my YouTube. There's something I can help. Now I'm about to go, Sabrina. Thank you. I got to do a podcast time. Yeah, podcast time, Ben. Take care. Help other people, please. I have so many things I would like to learn and do. I got to get my teeth done. Yes. Okay, go over, Laura, over to Unlock Your Goals and look at the report on healthcare. We have a special section on dental care, even if it's expensive dental care. It's going to take you phone calls, remember, and work on my son's and mine's business. Yes, okay. Then you got to go over to Unlock Your Goals and look at the business section. Make appointments with people. It's all about talking to people. You're not going to get anything done unless you start talking. And you can't know what that stuff means. I don't. I've been studying this for 50 years. Is it better to be outside free with no place to go or inside with no freedom, still with nowhere to go? Yeah. Well, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, you know, and that's why number one is pay your way. So you got to figure out how that, and so you may have to be uncomfortable doing that, but you don't have to stay there all the time. Okay, build towards something else. Is that the correct URL? LESCO grant secrets, tiny URL, tinyurl.com/LESCO grant secrets. I think it should be, yeah. Tried to get a Pell Grant and got refused. Pell Grant age. Oh, they shouldn't refuse you on age. That's crazy. Call your congressman. Yeah, that doesn't sound right. Yeah, no, they can't. Unless a special program. I mean, there has to be more, okay? So look in, I know Sabrina, give them something on money for school. Okay, guys, I better go. I don't want to be late. Be late for a very important date. No time to say hello, goodbye. I'm late.